Chapter 1. Arrival in Rome. I arrived in Rome, the capital of Italy, on a warm afternoon. From the airplane window, I saw old buildings, green hills, and narrow streets. At the airport, people were speaking Italian everywhere. Ciao and grazie were words I kept hearing. I didn't understand everything, but their voices sounded friendly. I took a taxi to my hotel. The driver smiled and said, "Welcome." It means welcome. As we drove through the city, I saw so many things. Scooters rushing between cars, people sitting in small cafes, and ancient buildings standing proudly. I looked at the Colosseum for the first time and whispered to myself, "This is history." That night, I felt both tired and excited. Tomorrow, my Italian adventure would begin. Chapter 2. The first Italian breakfast. The next morning, I went to a cafe near the hotel. The smell of coffee and fresh pastries filled the air. I ordered a cappuccino and a cornetto, which is a sweet Italian croissant. The waiter smiled and said, "Good morning." It means good morning. I took a sip of the coffee. It was strong but delicious. Delicious means it tastes very good. People around me were chatting cheerfully. They didn't seem to be in a hurry. I liked that calm rhythm of life. For the first time, I felt like I was not only visiting Italy, I was living it, one sip at a time. Chapter 3. Walking through ancient Rome. After breakfast, I decided to explore the city on foot. I walked through streets full of history. I visited the Roman Forum, the heart of the ancient empire. Broken columns and old stones were everywhere. Ancient means very old. I imagined how life looked here thousands of years ago. People in togas, markets full of noise, and Roman soldiers walking proudly. When I reached the Colosseum, I stood silently. Its huge walls told stories of the past. I felt small but deeply connected to something much bigger than myself. Human history. Chapter 4. The Art of Florence. A few days later, I took a train to Florence, the city of art and beauty. As the train moved, I watched olive trees and vineyards pass by. Vineyard means a place where grapes grow to make wine. In Florence, I visited the Uffizi Gallery, full of famous paintings and sculptures. I saw masterpieces by Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. The art was powerful and emotional. I realized that Italians express their feelings through color, shape, and movement. Walking through the city felt like stepping inside a painting. Chapter 5. Getting lost in Venice. My next stop was Venice, a magical city built on water. There were no cars, only boats and gondolas moving through narrow canals. Canal means a small waterway between buildings. I wandered through bridges and alleys, sometimes getting lost, but it was a beautiful kind of lost. A gondolier sang as he rowed his boat under the old stone bridges. The sound of water echoed softly against the walls. In that moment, I understood why people call Venice one of the most romantic cities in the world. Chapter 6. The Taste of Italy. One evening, I joined a small cooking class. The chef taught us how to make pasta and pizza from scratch. We mixed flour, eggs, and cheese while laughing together. I learned that cooking in Italy is more about love than rules. When I tasted my first homemade pasta, it was simple but perfect. Simple means not complicated, but still beautiful. Everyone at the table shared stories and food. I realized that in Italy, every meal is a celebration of life itself. Chapter 7. Saying Goodbye. On my last day, I walked again near the fountains of Rome. The water sparkled under the sun, and people threw coins into the Trevi fountain for good luck. I closed my eyes and made a wish. I didn't want to leave, but every journey must end. As the airplane took off, I looked at the Italian landscape below. Mountains, seas, and small villages. I said quietly, "Goodbye, Italy," which means goodbye, Italy. This journey taught me that travel is not only about places, it's about people, flavors, sounds, and memories that stay forever. Thanks for watching this story all the way to the end. Your support means a lot. If you want to help shape the next episode, comment, "The next country should be," and add the country you'd love to see next. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next story in our journey around the world.